Beneath the frozen crust of a prehistoric swamp, something ancient waits in perfect stillness. 10 meters of armored muscle and prehistoric hunger, suspended in black water cold enough to kill. The ice above groans under the weight of desperate men who don't know they're already dead. In 40 seconds, the surface will crack. In 60, the screaming will begin. This is the story of the night when hunters became prey, when frozen water became a tomb, and when the largest crocodile that ever lived claimed its final victims in the darkest corner of ancient Europe. If you want to survive the next 12 minutes, don't look away. The swamp breathes with the rhythm of something older than memory. Night has fallen across the frozen wetlands of prehistoric Europe, transforming the landscape into a realm of shadow and silver moonlight. The year is irrelevant. Time itself moves differently here, in this ancient pocket of the continent, where ice and water wage their eternal war. Mist rises from gaps in the frozen surface, creating pillars of vapor that twist and dissipate in the frigid air. The temperature has dropped 20 degrees since sunset, and the swamp has begun its nightly transformation from treacherous to lethal. 4 hunters move across this frozen hell with the careful steps of men who understand they walk on the edge of death. They are remnants of a larger group, a tribe of 30 that has fragmented under the pressure of a brutal winter that refuses to end. Starvation has carved their faces into masks of bone and leather. Their eyes, sunken and rimmed with exhaustion, constantly scan the darkness for threats they can see and those they cannot. Each man carries a spear of fire-hardened wood, the tips blackened and sharp as obsidian. Animal hides hang from their shoulders, stiff with ice and old blood. Their breath creates small clouds that freeze in their beards. The eldest among them, a scarred veteran of 40 winters whose right eye was taken by a cave bear years ago, raises his fist. The group stops. He has seen something. Not movement, not sound. Something worse. A disturbance in the ice ahead. A section where the white surface darkens to gray, then to black. Water beneath. Recent water. Liquid death waiting just beneath a surface that looks solid, but will shatter like clay pottery under a man's weight. Like and subscribe to witness what emerges from these black waters. The one-eyed leader gestures with 2 fingers, the signal to spread out, to distribute their weight across a wider area. The hunters understand. They've crossed frozen waters before. They know the rules of ice: move quickly, stay light, never stop. Stopping means sinking. Sinking means dying. They don't know about the thing below. They cannot know. Deinosuchus antiquus has been waiting for 6 hours. The creature rests 3 meters beneath the surface, where the water remains liquid despite the freezing air above. Its body generates no heat. It is a cold-blooded engine of patience and violence. 10 meters from snout to tail, 3 tons of muscle, bone, and armor plate. A skull the size of a man's torso, filled with teeth designed to crush turtle shells and tear apart prey 10 times larger than these fragile bipeds above. The crocodile's eyes break the surface between gaps in the ice. 2 golden orbs that reflect moonlight, like coins at the bottom of a well. It does not blink. It does not move. It simply watches, calculating, waiting for the precise moment when opportunity becomes certainty. The ice groans. The sound is deep and resonant, like the settling of ancient wood. The hunters freeze, a fatal mistake. Their combined weight in one location creates pressure points. Hairline fractures spread beneath their feet in patterns too small to see, but large enough to doom them. The youngest hunter, barely 17 winters, his first beard still patchy and incomplete, takes a step backward. The ice beneath him spiderwebs. He has 1 second to see the cracks spreading from beneath his foot. 1 second to understand what's happening. 1 second to open his mouth to scream before the surface gives way and he plunges through into water so cold it stops his heart mid-beat. The darkness swallows him. His companions lunge forward, instinct overriding survival, reaching for him even as the ice breaks further under their movement. 2 more men crash through. The freezing water hits their bodies like a physical blow. Their muscles seize. Their lungs forget how to breathe. The shock is so complete that for 3 seconds they cannot even struggle. The one-eyed leader remains on solid ice 5 meters away, watching his companions thrash in the black water. He knows they have seconds, perhaps 30 if they're strong, perhaps fewer, The cold will kill them before drowning does. He drops to his belly, spreading his weight, and begins to crawl toward them, extending his spear as a lifeline. Share this video before the water claims them all. The youngest hunter's head breaks the surface. He gasps, a wet, desperate sound, his hands scrabbling at the ice edge, finding no purchase on the slick surface. His animal skins have absorbed water and now drag him down with the weight of stones. He kicks frantically, but his legs move through something thicker than water: mud. The bottom of the swamp is a soup of decomposed vegetation and silt that pulls at him like grasping hands. 10 meters away, the golden eyes sink beneath the surface. The water begins to move, not with current, not with waves, with purpose. A disturbance passes beneath the struggling men, a pressure wave that pushes water ahead of it like an invisible hand. The youngest hunter feels something brush against his leg, something huge, something with skin like stone and muscles like coiled rope. He screams. The sound echoes across the frozen swamp, a high-pitched wail of primal terror that every ancestor buried in every cave would recognize. It is the sound humans make when they suddenly remember they are not the apex predator, when they remember that in the ancient world, we were meat. The Deinosuchus rises beneath him. The water erupts. 3 tons of prehistoric reptile explode from below, jaws opening to reveal a mouth that could swallow a man whole. The teeth, conical, interlocking, designed to grip rather than slice, close around the young hunter's torso with a sound like breaking branches. The force of the bite cracks ribs, punctures lungs. The crocodile's death roll begins immediately, a spinning, violent twist that uses the water's resistance to amplify the devastation. The hunter's body separates. The water turns black with blood. His companions have stopped screaming. They have stopped moving. They simply stare at the churning water where their friend disappeared, their minds unable to process what their eyes have witnessed. The cold has numbed their limbs. The horror has paralyzed their thoughts. The one-eyed leader is still crawling forward, still extending the spear, but his face has changed. He understands now. This is not rescue. This is retrieval. This is witnessing. This is survival by proximity. He lives because he is not yet in the water, not because he is safe. The Deinosuchus surfaces 12 meters away. Moonlight gleams off its armored back, osteoderms like ancient shields embedded in skin that has survived 60 million years of evolution. The creature's eyes fix on the remaining men in the water. It does not rush, it does not need to. The cold is its ally. Time is its weapon. These prey animals are already dying. The crocodile need only wait for them to weaken further. One of the hunters, a thick-shouldered man with a broken nose and hands scarred from a lifetime of making fire, tries to pull himself onto the ice. His arms shake with effort. His fingers leave bloody streaks where nails tear against the frozen surface. He gains a few centimeters, then a few more. His companion, still in the water beside him, pushes from below, sacrificing his own buoyancy to give his friend a chance. The ice holds. For 3 seconds it holds. Then it cracks again, and both men drop back into the water with a splash that sounds like despair given physical form. The Deinosuchus moves forward, not swimming, walking. Its massive legs push through the mud bottom with methodical precision. The water barely ripples. This is a creature that has perfected the art of the ambush over millions of years. It has hunted in rivers that no longer exist. It has fed in swamps that have turned to dust. It has survived mass extinctions and climate catastrophes that wiped out species more powerful than these fragile mammals. Comment below, could you survive this nightmare? The one-eyed leader reaches the ice edge. His spear extends toward the nearest man, the one with the broken nose who is still trying to climb. Their eyes meet. In that moment, an entire conversation happens without words. They both know the statistics. They both understand the cold. They both recognize that this rescue attempt is performative, a gesture toward the bonds of tribe and blood that mean nothing to the universe but everything to men. The broken-nosed hunter reaches for the spear. His fingers close around the wooden shaft. The Deinosuchus strikes. The attack comes from below and to the side, an angle that provides no warning, no chance for response. The crocodile's jaws engulf the man's entire lower body. The pressure is incomprehensible. The teeth punch through hide and skin and muscle and grind against bone. The hunter's scream is cut short as the death roll begins, that signature move that has killed prey for hundreds of millions of years. The spear is ripped from the one-eyed leader, his hands with such force that it tears skin from his palms. He watches his companion disappear into a chaos of water and blood and thrashing limbs. The crocodile rolls 3 times, 4, 5. Each rotation adds more torque, more destruction. When the water finally settles, nothing remains but spreading darkness and floating fragments of hide clothing. 2 men left in the water now. The last companion, thin, young, with a fresh scar across his jaw from a wolverine attack weeks earlier, has stopped fighting. He floats in the water, his arms spread wide, his face tilted toward the stars. Hypothermia has moved past pain into something like peace. His core temperature has dropped to 32 degrees. His heart beats perhaps 40 times per minute. His thoughts have become simple, childlike. He thinks about fire, he thinks about his mother. He thinks about how beautiful the stars look. He does not think about the shape moving beneath him. The Deinosuchus rises directly under his body, gentle, almost tender. The jaws open just enough to position themselves on either side of his torso. Then they close with the inevitability of stones falling. The scarred hunter's eyes widen one final time. His mouth opens. No sound emerges. He is pulled down into darkness, without ceremony, without struggle, without witness, except for the man on the ice, who can do nothing but watch. The swamp grows quiet. The one-eyed leader lies on the ice, his bleeding hands pressed against the frozen surface, his entire body shaking with cold and shock and survivor's guilt. He should move. He should crawl back to solid ground. He should flee while the creature feeds below. But he cannot. His muscles have locked, his mind has fractured. He has led 20 men on successful hunts. He has killed predators that stood taller than trees. He has survived injuries that would have killed weaker men. But he has never encountered anything like this. The water in front of him begins to bubble. The Deinosuchus surfaces slowly, deliberately. Its massive head emerges first. A skull built like a battering ram, covered in scars from fights with other megafauna long extinct. Blood stains its teeth. Fragments of hide hang from its jaws. The golden eyes fix on the human on the ice with an intelligence that predates human civilization by eons. The crocodile does not attack. It simply watches. This is the moment the one-eyed leader will remember for the rest of his short life. The moment when he understood that he survived not through skill or strength or courage, but through the simple arithmetic of satiation. The creature has fed. 3 men have filled its belly. It has no need for a 4th, not tonight. The hunter begins to crawl backward, slow, centimeter by centimeter. His eyes never leave the crocodile. His breath comes in shallow gasps that create small clouds of mist. The ice holds. The creature watches. The night stretches between them like a physical thing. After 50 meters, the leader reaches solid ground. After 100 meters, he begins to run. After 500 meters, he allows himself to look back. The swamp appears empty, peaceful. The ice has already begun to refreeze over the holes where 3 men broke through and never returned. By morning, there will be no evidence. By next week, snow will cover everything. By next season, even the memories will blur into nightmare and myth. But the Deinosuchus remains. Deep in the black water where light never reaches and cold never kills, the ancient predator rests. It has fed tonight. It will feed again. It has been here for millions of years before humans walked upright. It will be here for millions more after they are gone. It is patient. It is eternal. It is the thing that waits beneath every dark water, in every frozen swamp, in every nightmare that has ever woken a child screaming. The one-eyed leader reaches his tribe at dawn. He does not speak of what happened. He does not need to. The other survivors look at his face, at the new darkness behind his remaining eye, and they understand. 3 men left yesterday. 1 returns today. The mathematics of survival are simple even when the story is not. That night around the fire, the elder tells a new tale, not of the hunt, not of bravery, but of the thing in the swamp, the thing with golden eyes and jaws like stone and patience older than memory. He tells of how the ice is not to be trusted, how dark water hides ancient death, How some places belong to creatures that remember when mammals were prey. The children listen with wide eyes. They will remember this story. They will pass it down through generations. They will warn their children and their children's children about the frozen swamps of Europe where something terrible still waits beneath the ice. Subscribe and hit the bell icon, because extinction doesn't mean forgotten, and the ancient hunters never truly die. The fire crackles, the darkness presses close, and somewhere in the distance, water moves.